I love cruising with MSC. Beautiful ships, amazing food, and unbeatable value. But let's be honest, MSC have big ships that attract big crowds. If you've ever found yourself standing in a crowded buffet line, wondering where on earth you can just sit down and relax, this video is for you. Because here's the thing, you can have a peaceful, relaxing MSC cruise, even on a completely sold out sailing. After multiple MSC sailings, I've cracked the code on how to escape the crowds and actually enjoy the ship. And today I'm sharing every single trick with you. Avoid the post-show rush. Another time the ship suddenly gets crowded is right after theater shows end. The second the performance finishes, hundreds of people head toward the elevators and hallways at the exact same time. Elevators become packed, hallways get jammed, and public areas suddenly feel chaotic. Instead of rushing out immediately, wait 10 to 15 minutes. Sit for a few extra minutes and take your time leaving. By the time you head out, the elevators are calmer and the crowds have mostly disappeared. This simple trick can make a surprisingly big difference throughout your cruise. Use the thermal spa. If there's one place on an MSC ship to escape the crowd, it's the thermal spa. While the pool deck is chaos and the buffet is standing room only, the thermal spa is quiet. We're talking heated loungers, saunas, steam rooms, whirlpools, and a relaxation area, all in an adults-only environment with no loud music and no kids in the hot tub. Even 1 hour in there can completely reset your entire day. I've walked in feeling overstimulated by the ship and walked out feeling like a different person. Now, here's the part most people don't know. If you're an MSC Voyagers Club Gold or Diamond member, you actually get a complimentary 1 hour thermal spa pass included. It's one of the most underrated perks in the program. But, and this is important, book it the moment you board. Sea day slots can book up fast, and if you wait, there might not be any sea day availability. Not a gold or diamond member yet? Don't count yourself out. If you have status with a hotel loyalty program like Marriott or Hilton, MSC actually lets you do a status match before your cruise. That means you might actually be matched to gold or diamond status. I'll link the full status match process in the description below. It's worth doing since it can unlock the free thermal spa perk. Find the hidden quiet areas. Here's something most cruisers never do, and it's one of the best things you can do on day one. Walk the entire ship. Not just the buffet, the pool deck, and the atrium. I mean all of it. The upper decks, the outdoor promenades, the bars and lounges that aren't even open yet. Because MSC ships are massive. We're talking 18, 19 deck vessels with thousands of square feet most passengers never set foot on. And tucked inside all that space, little pockets of calm that the crowds completely miss. Maybe it's a lounge that only comes alive late at night, completely dead and peaceful during the day. Maybe it's a row of chairs on an upper deck with an unobstructed ocean view and nobody around. Maybe it's a specialty restaurant with outdoor seating that's technically closed, but the chairs are out and the view is stunning. I make it a ritual. Embarkation day and the first sea day, I do a full lap of the ship specifically to find my spots, my quiet corners, my backup plans for when the main pool gets too crowded. Once you find your secret spot, the whole cruise shifts. You stop fighting the crowds because you know exactly where to go. Skip the big deck parties. MSC is known for huge deck parties and themed events like the White Party and Sail Away celebrations. They're fun and energetic, but they also attract massive crowds. Here's the trick. While everybody else is packed into one area, the rest of the ship suddenly becomes much quieter. This is one of my favorite crowd avoidance strategies. When the big party starts, I sometimes head somewhere completely different. I'll grab a drink at a quiet lounge. It's amazing how peaceful the ship suddenly feels while everyone else is focused on one event. Skip the gift shop blowout sales. If you've cruised MSC before, you've probably seen the big gift shop blowout sales they hold during the cruise. They usually advertise huge souvenir deals with $10 blowout deals, and honestly, there can be some surprisingly good bargains. But these sales also attract massive crowds. The shops become packed with people digging through tables, browsing souvenirs, and lining up at the registers. Now, if you enjoy bargain hunting and don't mind crowds, you might actually love these sales. But if your goal is peace and relaxation, this is definitely one event you may want to skip. Cruise during off-peak seasons. When you sail matters just as much as how you sail. Peak seasons, summer vacation, spring break, Christmas, New Year's, bring the largest crowds on any cruise line, and MSC is no exception. The ships are at full capacity, the pools are packed, and those sailings can feel very crowded. Now flip that around. Book a September, October, or early November sailing, and the entire experience shifts. The energy on board is calmer, the average passenger age skews older, and lines at the buffet are shorter. Everything that felt stressful during peak season suddenly becomes effortless. And here's the bonus. Off-peak sailings are almost always cheaper. So you're not just getting a more relaxed cruise, you're paying less for it. So if your schedule has any flexibility at all, I'd strongly encourage you to look at those shoulder season dates first. Book longer cruises. Here's something I've noticed after multiple sailings. The length of your cruise quietly shapes the entire atmosphere on board. Longer cruises, typically anything over 7 nights, tend to draw a noticeably different crowd. Fewer families with young kids, fewer passengers chasing nonstop party energy, and a more mature crowd. The pace on board naturally becomes slower and more relaxed. And this is an important caveat if you're sailing in Europe. Mediterranean itineraries work differently than most people expect. On many of those sailings, passengers can actually board and disembark at multiple ports throughout the voyage. So while the cruise itself might be listed as 14 nights, you could have passengers who are only sailing 3 nights, others doing 7, and others going the full 2 weeks. That rotating door of passengers means the crowd dynamic is constantly shifting, and you won't necessarily get that same settled, calm atmosphere that you'd find on a longer transatlantic or longer Caribbean sailing. Use your balcony. And if you have a balcony cabin, take full advantage of it. Some of my favorite cruise moments have happened in the privacy of my cabin balcony, ordering room service and having a slow, peaceful breakfast, reading a book in the afternoon, sitting outside at night with a drink. There's something about being outside on the ocean, away from the noise of the ship, that feels completely different from anything you'll find in a lounge or on the pool deck. And here's the thing. If you've been going back and forth on whether a balcony is worth the extra cost, on busy sailings, I'd say it's worth it. Wake up early. One of the simplest but most effective ways to avoid crowds is waking up early. Cruise ships are peaceful in the early morning. Before 8 in the morning, it can feel like you have the ship almost entirely to yourself. The pool deck is quiet and the buffet is empty. Some of my favorite cruise memories happened early in the morning before most passengers even woke up. Grab a coffee, walk the outer decks, and enjoy the calmest part of the day. One of the best cruise secrets is staying on board during port days. Most passengers automatically rush off the ship as soon as the ship docks, which means the ship itself becomes peaceful for a few hours. Pools suddenly become empty. Hot tubs open up. The buffet has almost no lines. The decks feel spacious and calm. It honestly feels like a completely different ship compared to a crowded sea day. This is also one of the best times to enjoy the spa because MSC often offers port day discounts on treatments. Obviously, this depends on the port. If it's somewhere you've always wanted to visit, definitely go explore. But if it's a port you've already been to, or somewhere with limited attractions, staying on board can actually be more relaxing than getting off. Avoid the pool at peak times. The pool is usually the busiest area on the ship during sea days, especially around midday. If you want to actually enjoy the pool without fighting massive crowds, shift your timing. Go early in the morning or later in the afternoon instead. One of the best times to use the pool or hot tub is around 4 to 6 p.m. By then, many passengers head back to their cabins to get ready for dinner, which means the pool area becomes noticeably quieter. Watching the late afternoon sun over the ocean with fewer people around is one of the best experiences on board. Get your free cruise packing list. Whether you're a first-time cruiser or a seasoned traveler, this one-page checklist makes sure you never forget the essentials. Download my free cruise packing list printable. Link in the description below. Confused about gratuities? Here's the truth nobody warns you about. Watch the next video. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.